So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Siena. So we're going to be going up against them here in just a few minutes. And hopefully the guys are getting ready. It looks like they're going through getting their bands in and getting the map set up. So we should be able to plug into that here in just a minute. And we will have everything underway hopefully soon. Looking forward to see what they do tonight. This team has had some recent success, and hopefully that is a trend that continues. They did have a little trouble in their last match when they were playing one of the highest ranked teams in the league, which is understandable. They were very highly ranked and did very well. But, you know, we were still able to give them a little bit of a fight, and hopefully with this Siena team, we're able to do something against them this evening. The team has been really prepping this and watching some of the game tape, trying to get it to a place to where it could work really well. So hopefully they have a strategy ready and in place, and before too long, they will be finished setting up here in just a second. So we are going to hopefully have that starting up soon. Now, what we are doing is we're doing something a little bit different, and we've tried this once before. It worked pretty well, so we tried to do it again. We will actually be using spectator mode this evening, which does mean that we will have a 3-minute delay. And one thing that we will be doing at a certain point is we tried to give equal time to both of our teams. So we're going to have to, at a certain point tonight, cut off the League of Legends, because we actually have 2 games going on right now with Overwatch and League of Legends. And Overwatch has 2 games tonight. They have a doubleheader. So what we're going to do is we're going to catch the first part of League's match tonight, and then we're going to switch over to Overwatch 2. So hopefully we'll be able to fit in as much action as humanly possible. But having 4 games running in one night has been a tall order, and I do appreciate everybody trying to work with one another and work with the teammates and work with me to be able to make all this work and orchestrate it. And it's actually gone far smoother than I thought it was going to go. So thankfully, we've been able to do it with minimal issues. Would say before we go ahead and get started that there is a big event coming up tomorrow that I want to promote. So for those of you who may have heard, we have a big Halloween-themed event going on tomorrow, which is going to be a live stream, last 8 hours from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. So you can watch all 8 hours live streaming all of that time tomorrow. And we will be doing all kinds of fun things. First off, we're going to have an interview with some of the missionaries that just came over from Ukraine that are helping the people in need over there with the war that they're going to be raising money for. Right after that, we have game Whose Line Is It Anyway? So it's Whose Line Is It Anyway? If you've ever seen that show, we do games like theirs, but they're all video game themed. We've got a couple other big events we're going to be going through. We have a costume contest that you get to vote for, and you get to decide who wins with your donations. We have an Among Us play session, and we have a Mystery Hour event where anything could happen. We have a couple of different events there, and we have some Halloween-themed talk shows as well. So we're going to be doing some podcast format with a panel that we'll be doing there. So you see there we've got the guys, and we're starting to get underway. Like I said, there is going to be a 3-minute delay, so we still have some time We haven't even started the game on their end, so it will be a few minutes before we do that. So we'll go ahead and introduce the crew. You'll see there in the Call of Duty shirt, who apparently just didn't understand branding, we have MrGunk, who is Zane Thrash. So he's up there in the corner. And then next to him, talking to him right now, is his teammate RapterKlaw, who is also known as Ethan Dixon, who was actually commentating on Smash earlier tonight. And then next to him, in the third position, that is the captain of the team, Daniel Wentz, also known as MrOneShot, who typically runs mid. Then we also have in the black hat over there to your far left, that is going to be Steven Patterson, who is typically he runs bottom. He either mains bottom or does support bottom. And then also on the bottom lane, so you got the two bottom guys hanging out together. That is Frisbee, and I have no idea how to pronounce the second part of his screen name, Maccabeus or something like that. It's difficult to spell, it's difficult to say, but that doesn't change the fact that he's a good bottom laner, and that is Charlie Grete. So we've got all the guys are charged up and ready to roll, and hopefully we'll be able to start soon. You can see that they're going ahead and getting warmed up and sort of playing around there. Our stream won't actually start for the next few minutes, but you can tell that they're already ready and raring to go, and they're kind of exploring the ground there a little bit. So we will be getting underway with some footage of that very soon, hopefully not too long from now. I think one thing that we may do in the future is start the countdown a little bit later because of this 3-minute delay. I honestly forgot to account for that. But special thanks to our producer, Brandon, who was actually in the middle of a Rocket League match and had to rush over to be able to do that. So appreciate him and all that he does. He does a lot of production work for us for Faulkner Sports Network, and we certainly appreciate him being willing to do that as well. And you may recall earlier this evening, we actually had a Super Smash Brothers match between us and the University of Georgia playing the #1 team in the league. And unfortunately, that did not go as well for us as we had hoped. Wound up losing that one pretty handedly. But, you know, the Smash Bros. White team still has a chance to make the playoffs. They can still make the playoffs if they win the next 2 games and the math just happens to work out exactly right. So if that does take place, we will be seeing a playoff matchup in Super Smash Brothers. It looks like we're probably going to make the playoffs in league. So the team that you're watching right here, right now, they have a very good chance at making the playoffs. I believe it's the top 4 teams go, and so they're currently ranked 3rd or 4th, if I'm remembering correctly. So if they win tonight, that will very much put them in a good spot to make it. And then, of course, most importantly, we have the #1 and undefeated Rocket League Blue team, who has already solidified a spot in the playoffs, and we expect really good things from them as well. So I believe they're tied for first right now. But they are, you know what, since we're here and we've got a little time, let me check that real quick. Oh, no, that's Smash Bros. Blue. That is not the same thing. Yeah, so... Yeah, so Simpson is also undefeated and ranked #1 in Rocket League, so they've tied with that. But we actually play Simpson next week. So regardless, after Monday, one of those teams will not be #1 because #1 and #1 are playing each other. Okay, so here we go. We've got looks like we've got the teams up and ready to roll. And we've got them all kind of charging and taking mid lane. I'm not sure what their opening gambit here is, but they're all sticking together for right now. They're not going to their individual lanes. So that's an interesting strategy. We'll see if it pays off for them. So we're going to see... Sorry, trying to get the sound for the game going here a little bit. We may need to pump it up just a little bit. There we go. And we'll just rely on that. One thing we do need to adjust the scoreboard ever so slightly. So we're just going to adjust this here. And there we go. Looking good. All right. So, like I said, this is the first time we've tried this format. It's a new thing for us. Actually, I notice now that oh, actually, that is a little bit of a problem. Our scores are actually reversed. That's unfortunate. I actually didn't know that they could be reversed. I really like Rocket League in the sense that your team always stays on the left-hand side. So, yeah, so Faulkner is actually on the red side there. I know that's confusing because, you know, our team color is blue. But ours is actually on the red, so as you can see, it doesn't make much difference right now because we're dead even. But you're seeing that there's a little bit of a team fight going on here, and here in the bottom lane. So you've got Charlie and Steven. And then here you have MrGunk, that's Zane.
No way. Oh,
So OneShot, you know, being kind of cautious here, just sort of taking his time and sticking back a little bit, playing a little bit more conservatively. So that's interesting. We'll see if that pays off for him. But, you know, getting pushed back a little bit there, you can see that he's a little bit outnumbered on the minion side. And I have to be honest, this character that Gunk is playing, I'm not familiar with that one. So that's a new one on me. That is one thing that is a little bit of a challenge for League of Legends is even a game with a very large roster like Super Smash Brothers, like you're only dealing with about 80 to 80, yeah, I think it's 82 total characters. This one has about 140, so about double even Smash Bros, which probably has the second largest roster of any of the games we play. Of course, CSGO is super easy. There's literally only everybody's the same. So that one's a little easier. Rocket League's pretty easy too on that. But yeah, you've got Steven here getting slain, unfortunately for him. And we're seeing them take a much more defensive position here. Oh, this one guy is One-Winged Angel, a very obvious Final Fantasy VII reference, which is appropriate considering he's dressed like a vampire. So, little Sephiroth-ish. That's a word. Just inventing words here on the air. So Dubsy in a little trouble here with Trendle. Oh, and actually gets the kill. And now we have the captain, MrOneShot, sort of very cautiously keeping himself back, but with that character's range, he's able to do a little bit more of that. And for those of you who realize that I'm kind of new to this commentary and I don't know League as well as I do some of the other games, so you're just going to have to bear with me. Unfortunately, I'm the only commentator you've got tonight, so it's going to be just me, but we will do the best that we can, and hopefully, I mean, you're here to watch the guys play anyway. You're not really here to hear me, so hope you're enjoying that as much as I do. And Melody over there, or as I like to call him, Meth. That's my favorite one. Because methodical, Meth. It's just a name. So, wow, Gunk actually doing a great job of escaping that with his life. Now, he will have to head back to home base probably to heal up. But, I mean, good on him being able to escape that without letting them get a kill off on him. So you saw Trendle sort of peeking there up at the top corner and deciding he didn't want any part of that. But, you know, to his credit, methodicalMelody really kind of holding his own against two champions there. At the very least, sort of holding them at bay. Oh, and then we have the second as well. So we got Frisbee coming in. Frisbee's character, a much more mobile character with a decent amount of area of attack, so he's going to use the threat of that just sort of to keep them from getting a little too bold. Oh! And you see him bringing the attack right there. And now they're going to be taking it to the tower, trying to get some of those plates with the gold bonus. And right now, Siena does have the advantage on gold. Not by much, but by enough to make a difference. Just about 2K ahead of them. Alright, so you see here Siena doing the best that they can to try to take the dragon there. And Siena now defending the tower from Zane, who's top laning this evening. So now they're going to try to triple team. You see the jungler come in with a gank, trying to take down and actually winds up taking down methodicalMelody. Gunk doing the best he can to try to keep the bleeding to a minimum there. Alright, so we may see a kill here pretty quickly. No, actually OneShot decides it's better to not try to take that tower right now. The tower was enough for him to decide, nope, don't need to try to get too hasty and get too aggressive. Which, considering that currently Siena is ahead by 3 kills, that's probably a smart move. You don't want to get overly aggressive when you're that far behind. Not that they're like super far behind at this point. And, I mean, kills are not even necessarily always the best indicator of who's winning. Ethan here playing Trundle. Oh, and gets taken out. So the question is, can Faulkner take down the beast here? So we see there Siena really kind of dominating that section of bottom lane, but it's not long before reinforcements arrive, and we'll see if our 2 bottom laners, Steve and Charlie, can answer that. Hopefully they can. But bottom seems to be the lane that we're having the most trouble with, at least in this game so far. Neither team has taken a tower yet, so we're still kind of in the holding pattern on that. However, our mid lane has taken off one of the plates, which is nice. Man, a lot going on right now. You can see our junglers our jungler is trying to get into a team fight right here, and MrOneShot is actually in a little bit of trouble here at low HP. And now Zane running for his life there, trying to get away. So One Winged Angel bust out the ult, and you can see why they were hesitant to get near him. Luckily, it looks like both of them were able to survive that onslaught, but it did a fair amount of damage. And now methodicalMelody Can he get away from this? No, not able to do so. Dubsy winds up taking him out. So Gunk getting a little bit stuck in a corner here, trying to defend his tower here, and luckily another wave of reinforcements just arrived, so that may make a difference with his minions. Oh, and they take down the rock beast. And it looks like one of Siena's panels is in danger. Pretty close to falling there, which would be a nice little gold bonus. Which, to be honest, the kill ratio Faulkner is behind in, but the gold ratio is been pretty even. Despite the fact that they've got an advantage in kills, which is impressive. That shows you that Faulkner's farming game has been not bad. And we're seeing part of that why right here. MrGunk, who has taken now 2 panels, just has 3 left on that middle tower. Really being able to make some headway there. So Siena takes down the dragon and RapterKlaw, which does not bode well for the team, but is by no means a crippling defeat that will put them too far behind. You see Siena is starting to pull away a little bit on the gold matchup here, but again, nothing too serious. These teams so far seem fairly even matched. So Gunk up there in top lane trying very hard to manage this whole conflict. Come on, Frisbee. All right, and yes, so Frisbee takes down the one-winged angel, which is a very funny sentence if you really extrapolate it and take it literally. That'd be a hilarious scene if you could just throw a Frisbee and take out Sephiroth. That'd be great. A little tougher than that. Usually I have to be 99 and have the ultimate weapon to do that. Alright, and it looks like Siena takes down the rock beast. But, you know, you may notice that Faulkner is starting to take a little bit of that back. They're closing the gap on the gold advantage, and they're closing the gap on the kill advantage. Because they were down by 5 just a minute ago. And Dubsy just smacking his head against a brick wall there in a very literal sense. Well, I mean a brick tower, I guess. But Gunk comes back and is ready to get this kill. Now his tower is gone, but it is going to cost him his life, it looks like. Because now he's got our jungler and our top laner on his tail. And they do get the shutdown. I don't know if they get the kill. And it looks like Siena has taken the Rift Beast, and that is going to spell trouble for Faulkner's towers. I don't know exactly when they would use that, but I don't know. Here, it might make the most sense to target their top lane. It seems like that's the one where they have the clear shot to their base, especially now that the top tower has fallen. So you'll notice that they actually have taken one tower. And OneShot goes on a rampage. Very nice. Playing mid lane very well. And getting a little help from Frisbee. Alright, so in a team fight here, but MrGunk is on very low HP, and OneShot and Raptor are kind of holding the rest at bay so he can get away, and they all are able to escape. So Frisbee in a little trouble here. Oh man, and a double kill from them. Now, Faulkner has closed the gap in both towers and kills. You'll notice only one kill behind, about even on gold, and have now taken 2 towers. So they had a little bit of a slower burn, but they kind of played what I call the ninja strategy, where they kind of hide behind a little bit and then very quickly take a lead. Mostly, I base that name off of the game Smash Up. If you've ever played that game, you know that's how the Ninja Tribe actually beats you, is they make you think they're in second place the whole time and not a threat, and they just come from behind out of nowhere. So, oh, the Rift Herald has just been unleashed by Siena. That's going to be a problem for the towers, and yes, it actually does allow them to even up. Getting the Rift Beast like that, that did create a significant advantage for them, being able to come back and take the tower. So their jungler being able to take that one earlier makes a big difference here. Oh, and a second one. My. So we're seeing a pretty interesting team battle here. Now, it was actually really fortunate for Faulkner that the Rock Beast attacked the third one, because that made things a little bit more even, made the fight at least somewhat manageable, so they didn't get killed because they were outnumbered. So, actually, the Rock Beast being there, very lucky for Faulkner's team. Oh, and a shutdown by the blue team. So this has been a pretty exciting league game, honestly. I mean, there's been a lot of back and forth. You've seen the lead change sides several times. Looks like they're going for the Drake here. Gotta love the Drake. 10 points to anybody that gets that reference. Got to love the Drake. I hate the Drake. And RapterKlaw getting a Rock Beast kill there. Alright, so methodicalMelody gets another kill on One Winged Angel. So are Frisbee and Gunk gonna team up here and take down Dubsy? Looks like that is the plan, but he very quickly gets help from Agatha Hagasig, who, I don't know. Too many syllables. Shorten your screen name, bro. Agatha Haslu, maybe? I don't know. It's whatever. So you see there where they plan to team up on Dubsy actually winds up backfiring on them, having to hide behind that turret. So, just giving an update for the Faulkner Overwatch team, it looks like they have completed round 1 and scored all 3 points and did not allow the other team to score once. So, big early lead for them. Remember that theirs is a best of 5, unlike League, which is a best of 3. So, getting the first point there, a very big deal. They still have to win 2 more, but looking good for the Overwatch 2 team. We, of course, will check in on them periodically throughout the night. So, it looks like Siena is going to be going for the Baron here. The Saints really getting a little bit greedy here, and unfortunately, they're pulling away a little bit. If they get the Baron, that's going to give them a big boost in the anti-minion game. So that's going to be something that they really need later. So hopefully this game does not get out of hand. Faulkner can answer and start gaining back some ground here. But them taking the Baron is going to put Faulkner at a bit of a disadvantage here. Seeing a little rumble in the jungle there. So now you're going to see, did they try to do a team up like they did recently? So you're seeing the purple aura around their minions. That's I believe that's one of the effects of the Baron. And RapterKlaw, Trundle, kind of slipping off to the side. I wonder what they're doing here. I wonder if they're seeming like they're in some kind of holding pattern. It may be that they're planning something or laying some kind of trap. The only one really doing any fighting right now we're seeing on screen is MrGunk. And it will be interesting to see how this goes. Oh, and Gunk getting... Oh, and OneShot both getting taken down. My. Well, that puts everybody else at a disadvantage because it's going to be a while before they can respawn. Oh, and takes down methodicalMelody. This could be very much not good, and down goes Charlie as well. Frisbee feeling the pain there, and now the Saints have taken a pretty substantial lead. It's by no means insurmountable, but wow, that is not looking good for the Eagles. Now the Eagles could definitely come back here. They could whip out some of their hidden voodoo, and like we saw earlier in the game, maybe very quickly take back a couple towers and make a push here. But you know what you're looking at now, especially with the fact that what you're looking at is a team that is underleveled compared to Siena. That's going to make team fights all that much more difficult. And being at this level disadvantage is going to make a big difference. We're going to see that in team fights. You really hate to see it. So Frisbee goes down here. A double kill. Man, you hate to see that. OneShot kind of throws out some snow there, but he is in a lot of danger. He's going to try to get away here. Can he make it? Nope. He was just too close. Man, this game may be getting out of hand. Granted, on gold and some other stats, really the other team is ahead, but not like stupid ahead. But now with the level advantage, with the advantage on kills, it's really starting to become a problem. But they are at least kind of floating around and thinking about maybe trying to steal the dragon. But now that all 5 of Siena's team is there, yeah, they probably want to keep clear. You don't want 5v5 team matches when your team, when their average level is lower. That's just generally speaking a bad idea unless there's a very specific set of circumstances. Like maybe the entire team is tired from fighting a monster and they are all at low HP. Then maybe you go for a 5v5, but generally speaking, when you're at the lower level, you want to sort of play hit and run tactics. Alright, and we see Trundle taking down one of the beasts there. So one of the things that you're seeing here, a difference in these two tanks, is that Gunk has the unfortunate position of being at a lower level, and that's very difficult to deal with for any player, but especially as a tank. Because when you're top laning like that, there's really nobody there to save you. You're just kind of on your own, and so if you're by yourself and nobody ganks, there's just not a whole lot you could do, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, you're seeing Siena start pulling away, especially in the gold advantage here. And that's partly because they have more kills, but it's partly other things too. Their jungler is a higher level, so it can get more kills at a quicker rate. So that's making a difference here as well. Oh man, Ethan was about to make an escape there, but then just runs right into one of the other teammates, burned there, Bunsen burned, and unfortunately gets taken down. And then Gunk, you see, he kind of peeks over and sees that they're trying for Baron, but he doesn't have anybody with him. Stealing at this point would be suicide. So Faulkner kind of finding themselves in a rut here. Can they break that pattern? Now Faulkner tends to play better in the second round than they do in the first. And they have already had at least one come from behind victory this year. So it's by no means impossible, but they're starting to get to the point to where if they don't do something big fast, they're not going to be able to win this match. Interesting that they're making a little bit of a push on bottom lane despite the fact that they've got top lane basically wide open. So MrOneShot kind of staving off one winged angel there, trying to stop the bleeding there. And Faulkner getting a couple of kills to gain back at least a little bit of ground, but you'll see there that they've got the advantage from Baron, which is really causing them to make this big push on top. And they are inside the Faulkner base. That's not good for us by any stretch of the imagination. One shot on a rampage here. But immediately after, they get a kill on Frisbee. Now, you can get a little bit of a 2 steps forward, 1 step back there, but hey, that is still 2 to their 1, so still a win in my book. Whether or not it will result in an overall win remains to be seen, but you're seeing Faulkner make a push, and they're starting to even up a little bit here. Man, OneShot just going on a tear there. And so you see that what they're thinking about doing is taking this dragon here. I'm not sure exactly what this specific dragon does. I forget, honestly. Oh, so they take down Frisbee. That's not good. Faulkner needs to very quickly get this dragon's HP down so they do not get the steal. Oh, and OneShot takes down one of Siena's players. Oh no. Blue team steals the dragon. That's not good. So Gunk, RapterKlaw, and OneShot team up briefly to take down Dubsy. And an interesting thing you're seeing here, OneShot teaming up with Frisbee quite a bit, which is a little bizarre because OneShot is our mid laner, and of course Frisbee is one of our bot lane guys. So you see Faulkner really making a stand here, which is kind of impressive after losing the dragon. That was a pretty devastating blow, but they've really made a comeback here and started making some comebacks on team fights, just kind of playing smart, waiting until they have superior numbers to take down the guys that are higher level. Hang on just a second. So I just found out that Overwatch 2's team is currently in the middle of a tiebreaker, so they're going a little bit long. So we will check back in on them soon. Somebody in the arena singing Vanessa Hudgens. That's interesting. You didn't expect that one. Probably didn't expect me to know that either, but here I am. I've seen White Chicks. It's a funny movie. I'll watch anything with Terry Crews in it, I'll just be perfectly honest. There's a reason I bought Old Spice for like 4 years straight. All right, methodicalMelody going on a killing spree. Frisbee goes down. And Methodical goes down. But it looks like they're going to win this fight.
Blue team triple kill.
Oh, and a triple kill. Nice. One shot.
Red team double kill. Shut down. Aced.
Brandon, I believe that you might have accidentally bumped the mouse there. We've kind of on the other computer because we're stuck in the corner here while there's a fight going on. Just click it back on directed camera. Oh wait. Yeah, just leave it alone. It'll go back. Yeah, there you go. All right, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. We'll get you back to the action. There we are. Sorry about that. Stuff happens, you know. So Faulkner has made a very impressive comeback push here. All right, so did just get an update from the Overwatch 2 team. They had a couple of very close rounds. It was literally 99 to 100 at the tail end, and they won a couple to come back, but unfortunately they lost the tiebreaker, so they did lose the match earlier tonight. We will check in on them in their second match as soon as this one is wrapped up here with League of Legends. And these two teams, lots of back and forth you can see going on here. And they're doing very well in the team fights, although they're struggling in this one right now, but they have in the past couple rounds still done reasonably well. And you see OneShot kind of breaks away there. It is extremely impressive that they've been able to make this push. Now what you're going to see is the other team looks like getting very aggressive, going to try to take, trying to take the final stage here. And I'm wondering where all of our guys are. I guess they've just been stuck in respawn. Uh-oh. They're close. Okay, so this is probably going to be like Faulkner really struggling to hang on here. Oh, man. And yeah. Wow. You hate to see that. Faulkner makes an admirable effort to try to win, but is not able to do so. So this is a best of 3, so they do still have, they can in theory still win 2 games, but since it's getting close to 9 o'clock, what we're probably going to do is we're going to drop back here and really quickly jump into Overwatch. So what we'll probably do here is, I think we can actually reasonably well stay online. Like, we won't have to actually go offline while this is happening. I think we can just switch out the score mechanisms and be fine. So I think that we should be able to do that. Let's check here real quick. And well, you know what? It may actually be easier to just go ahead and end the stream and then reset, because I come to think of it, we'd have to reformat a whole bunch of stuff. So why don't we just take a quick break here? You can, you know, we appreciate it, guys. Good first game. We're going to go ahead and switch to Overwatch. And we will be back here in just a little bit, and hopefully we'll be able to pull out a win against Siena. And we're going to be able to pull out a win in our second game with Overwatch, which we'll be covering here in just a second. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream now, and we'll be back on in just a couple minutes.
The preceding broadcast was an official presentation of Faulkner University. It may not be redistributed without the express written consent of the Faulkner University Athletic Department. Regitar USA High-Res Arena is sponsored by Regitar USA. The national anthem was performed by the Faulkner University Chorus. If you would like to learn more about the Faulkner Esports program, visit our official website at faulknereagles.com or follow us on Discord, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram for all the latest news and events. Thank you for watching, and soar Eagles!